What is up, fantasy football fools? We are back for the Week 10 recap. We're going to look ahead to Week 11 after this as well. We'll get into our standings and just kind of break down where everything or how everything looks right now as we're about 3-4 weeks away from playoffs. So we'll get started here with your game up first versus James, the team that you put number one in your power rankings, and you take him down by almost 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good game. Score was a lot closer than it was. A.J. Brown had the Monday night game, I think, right? And he got him, like 2 or 3 points?
Yeah, 3 points, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 3 points. So, I mean, it was close until then. Once the Seahawks got that second touchdown in the 4 o'clock games, I thought it was over. But Vidal matched McConkey or closely matched McConkey to give me a chance, and A.J. Brown just kind of screwed the pooch. But it was a really good game. HN was the big reason why I won 40 ball, which was the second highest score this week, if you can believe it, because we'll go down to Chewy's team. But yeah, it was a good win for me. James is struggling. Still has a really good team, but just struggling to find wins, which is really all that matters in fantasy football, and that's tough.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that team as we get into playoffs. This is just yet another year where I feel like James has had a
Yeah.
really good team, and he might not make the playoffs once again. I think we both had him in the top 3 of our power rankings. You had him at the top, but yeah, just a tough. Actually, I might have had him at the top 2. I can't remember. Nonetheless, tough loss here for him. Good win for you, though, as well. When we get into the standings, see how that's shaking things up a little bit.
Yeah, and then we'll go to Chewy and Chris's team. This was a blowout. Nothing really much to say. Chewy's had this game. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had the morning game on Sunday. So if you get a 50 ball and lose, that'd be kind of embarrassing. But Chris didn't really make it too much of a game anyway. And Chris falls 3-7. Tough for him to climb back out of that, but that was a big win for Chewy because he's 5-5 now. He was kind of in the same boat as James on that 4-5 record, and those guys really needed that win, and Chewy got it, and James didn't. But Chewy had some big losses in his team injury-wise, so we'll get into that probably when we get into the next week. So then we got Jimmy and Rudy. This game was actually pretty close. I didn't know Rudy started JMO, but this game actually was very close, and Rudy almost won it at the end.
Yeah, this was a very close game. I think Rudy or Jimmy had somebody in the Monday night game. But yeah, this game kind of came down to the wire a little bit. No, maybe not. Maybe this was
Maybe
over on
the
Sunday. Maybe it was the Sunday
Sunday
night
night
game?
DK. It was DK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Rudy was in shouting distance with DK out there and Chargers D, right? They played each other?
yeah. Chargers
Yeah.
D actually really good. DK did not do well at all.
Yeah, so Rudy went into that game with a couple people, and yeah, this was a pretty close game, but unfortunately, Rudy takes another L. I think putting him kind of down in the camp with Rubasi and Chris of just. I think they might end up on the outside looking in here. Some tough records there we can look at when we get into standings, but another tough loss for Rudy. That's a guy with another great team that's just can't
Yeah,
find wins.
yeah, he is, and it's tough for Rudy. I was just talking to him over the weekend about just fantasy football, and a disappointing season for him. He's had a couple games that he was in shouting distance and just lost. I don't think he's at 0% yet, but he's pretty much at 0% in my eyes, at least. But then we'll go to our worst team in the league that we both ranked. You actually had him 11th until we talked you out of it. Did he beat Chris? No, Chris actually got a lower score, which is kind of
See, I might have been onto something here.
But Jeff squeaked out a win when he shouldn't have gotten a win. It's funny to see both these guys as kickers were their third highest score. And I don't think we see another kicker on this top 3 list, which is that's how bad this game was. But Jeff squeezed it out, and he was another 4-5 team. He really needed this win. And he got it. And I think he plays Johnny this week, which will be a good game. But Jeff's just hoping for wins at this point.
Yeah, this was a game. Lubasi, just when you thought he might be heating up after last week's win, he just right back down. I think we've talked about some of the trades, or one of the trade that he made, that I just don't think was a great idea. I don't think that's played well to his favor here.
It's
But
not.
yeah,
It's not.
down in that category, him, Rudy, and Chris are gonna need some really special things to happen throughout the rest of the season to have a shot at the playoffs. But yeah, good win for Jeff here. I'm sure he was glad he was playing Lubasi because this could
Third
have been a
lowest, the
loss
fourth
to
lowest.
almost everyone else. There were a couple lower scores than him,
Yeah.
but this was definitely one of those wins that you look at and you're like, wow, I can't believe I got that.
Yeah, he's probably, and he'll take it. There's no doubt
Oh
about it. He'll
yeah,
take it.
you don't apologize for wins in this game.
We do not. And then the next week or the next game is Johnny and Nick, which was actually a really good game. It looked like Johnny was going to really pull away, but Nick had a lot of guys Sunday night. That Green Bay game. No, that was Monday night. He had Devontae Smith, Josh Jacobs, who got really good scores. I think he had a Sunday night guy too, but he just couldn't get enough. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Smith. It was funny because they scored back to back, but it was in the fourth quarter because all the scoring came in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it's cool that happened, but Nick needed just another touchdown or at least another couple yards from each of them. But Johnny's team is rolling. He's getting wins. I had him like 10th or ninth in my power rankings,
Yeah,
and
you
that
had
that
him.
probably won't age well. I'll
You
tell you
had
that
him
right now.
way down. You were disrespecting this team, and he came out and showed you why you shouldn't. The guy is
Yep.
7-3. He's currently sitting in our number one seed. So this is definitely a team that's kind of scary. 116's not crazy high score, but it's still like he's stacking up wins like nobody's business.
Yeah, and then the next game, I was thinking if you actually had the highest score, I thought Chewy did, but you actually had the highest score. You just dominated. This was you probably were done after 1 o'clock games. You probably didn't have to watch this anymore.
I think the 4 o'clocks, I still had my Cardinals guys
Okay, yeah,
and some other people. But yeah, I mean, this was already shaping up to be. Although I will say, after that Sunday morning game, Tyler
yeah.
Warren
Warren
put
had
up
18.
17.9, and I was getting a little bit nervous. But then the rest of Dom's team just did not come to play, and my team finally did come to play. Although this is one of those things you wish, like, man, I really wish we could have saved this score for
Yeah,
like a different week. All I needed here was like 100, and I would have been comfortably winning, and we could have saved our big scores for later. But it is what it is. We don't apologize for wins. I'm sitting at 6-4, so I got to be happy with this one. And yeah, you got to love the ones that come without a sweat too.
yeah. I feel like Dom's team is kind of going on the down arrow. We'll see coming up here, but that's a team that I thought was pretty strong in the beginning of the season, and he just hasn't looked good. I think he might be on a pretty 2 or 3 game losing streak. I don't know if he won last week. Um, I just got to check it out really quick. But I feel like he hasn't been. No, he did. He came out against Chewy. I think just the team isn't. He's got a lot of injuries with Garrett Wilson and then a couple other guys. But we'll see, or we'll go to week 11, and we'll probably just go into these. I don't know if a lot of people have their like set lineup. We'll just kind of talk about how big this game is and kind of must win territory with people and how good that this game's going to be. So we'll just start with me and Chris's. And to me, I mean, if you're playing Chris, Lubasi, or Rudy, I feel like it's a must win if you're playing them just because you don't want to lose to one of those guys. You feel like it's an easy game or like an easy win when it really isn't just because anything can happen in fantasy football. But to me, this is a must-win game. I think you play Rudy, so I feel like you're in a must-win game. And
Oh
then
yeah,
I think James plays Lubasi, which that is actually a must-win game because he actually needs the win. Whereas you and I could probably lose and be all right. But in our mind, it's totally different. But right now, I'm projected 130 to 120. And the thing about Chris's lineup this week is kind of funny. He's got Caleb Williams, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and the Bears defense.
All in
So
one game.
this Bears game, I'll be tuning into that game pretty heavily, which is crazy. I mean, I hate when I have two guys in the same game just because I feel like putting all like just two guys in one game just makes that game really important. But having four is just bonkers.
Yeah, four guys in one game is that's gonna be. You better hope for some fireworks in those. Well, see, he doesn't
So you
want
got the Bears
fireworks
D.
from the Vikings though. So, man, that's yeah, that's gonna be a tough game to watch for him. He's gonna be back and forth on what he wants. And I mean, 120 is a pretty good projection for him
It
if he
is
can get that high after coming off such a low week last week. And it'd be just your luck for him to drop 130, 140 this
150.
week.
Yeah, it will be. And Ramondre's already ruled out, so my guy's, I mean, he's still on the IR. But that means Travion Henderson's going to have a pretty, or just more work than usual. Well, probably the same as the last 2 weeks, but he's gotten more work in the last 2 weeks with him down. I mean, I'm not sleeping on Chris's team. His team looks good this week. The Bears D secondary isn't good or hasn't played that well. So that does kind of scare me. Even if the Bears D get like -2, if Justin Jefferson gets 30 and Addison gets like 16, like that's a win in his eyes. So,
Yeah,
but I
I
also have
can.
some good matchups with Devon Achane. I think he's projected like 28 points, which is crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
But he plays the Washington D when I think Gibbs just put up like 40 of his 40 ball on, or like 38 and a half. So I don't know. It's going to be a good game. To me, this is a must win for me. Chris needs a win. I think if Chris, Rudy, or Lubasi gets one more loss, they're definitely 0%. So he's fighting for his life as well.
Yeah, he's definitely hoping to catch you on this one, and I'm hoping that he catches you on this
Yeah.
one. Obviously, everyone but you is going to hope Chris wins this game, as everyone would expect. So go, Chris. I hope that 120 is a low ball on what you're about to drop this week.
Yeah, I think I looked. I think I'm projecting the most with 131. But we'll get into this game with Jimmy and Dom. Dom has Warren still on a bye, so I don't think he has a tight end actually on his roster. So probably, let's just say, get another 8 points. It's about 115 to 124. I mean, this is a heavyweight game when it comes to the other division, Chris's division. I feel like Dom needs a win. Dom needs this win pretty bad. But Jimmy, I think Jimmy's gonna cash out, and his team is just so good.
It
Especially if he
is. He
gets Mahomes and Rice
does
back
have a
because he had
couple
the bye last week.
questionables here, though, so we'll
He
see if
does.
those injuries have any impact on the game. But yeah, Jimmy's team is a powerhouse right now. That dude is rolling, and I agree. I don't know that Dom has the firepower to stand with this team if all of these guys are healthy and play. I think Dom might be in for another blowing loss. But luckily for Dom, even if he loses this game, I think he's still in the hunt. And I mean, we are rooting for Dom though. I'd love to see him take Jimmy down here, but
Yeah.
I don't know that it's going to happen. Jimmy's team is looking real good right now.
Yeah, just looking at matchups for Dom, I think Puka versus that Seattle defense. That Seattle defense has been really good this year. So just when your best guy going up a tough matchup, I mean Puka still could get 20 and easily, but that's always scary. It's just with Mahomes and Rice back, I think Jimmy's. I want to say Jimmy has the best team now. I mean James is still good. Don't get me wrong, but Jimmy's team just every week seems like it's getting just better and better with London, and Adams gets all those touchdowns. Like his team is tough.
This is a tough team. This is probably going to be one of those teams that you do not want to see in the playoffs, but yeah, hopefully Dom can take him down here, but it's going to be a tall order.
And he's got Broncos D on the bench. Because they play KC, which this is probably the number one defense. I guess number 3. I wonder who's the number 1 defense. Good game. This will be heavily the standings. Johnny's going to really want to watch that game, and he's going to want to take care of business against Jeff. Jeff's got a lot of questionables too. Holy crap! This guy's got 4 questionables on his team. But Jeff's fighting for his life. I don't think Jeff's in must win yet, but he's really nervous if he loses to Johnny, which he probably does, if we're being honest.
Yeah, this is another one. I just don't know if Jeff's team, coming off of a 99, has what it takes to stand with Johnny's team. I don't think Brees Hall is going to do what he did last week every week. That Jets offense is just so bad.
Yeah.
Um, man, Jeff's team's in a rough spot right now. Joe Burrow might be coming back in a couple weeks, which would be really good for Jamar Chase, but I'm thinking it might be too late at that point for Jeff. And I don't know if Jamar Chase can save it by himself. So this is the type of win that you got to sneak to get yourself positioned for playoffs if you're Jeff. I mean, like you said, this probably isn't like a loss and he's out, but this is a loss and you're starting to panic a little bit,
Yeah.
and especially playing a team that's a little better than yours or like mostly better than yours. This is going to be a tough matchup, but again, the league is Team Jeff. Take him down. We are rooting for Jeff here to win this game. I would love to see Johnny take this L. So hopefully everything I just said about Jeff's team is wrong, and it just Brees Hall drops 40, and Lamar goes for 30. Hopefully, Lamar plays. But yeah, man, this is a lot of questionables to
A
see on
lot of
this
questions.
team right now.
And if you, I'll go to these matchups again. Even if Lamar plays, he's playing a Cleveland Browns team that's really just defensively really good. Um, I know Chase. I think Chase put his 50 ball up against Pittsburgh, so you know Pittsburgh's going to want to like not have that happen again. So I feel like Chase is going to have actually really not a good game against them because they're going to be honing in on him because they don't want him to do that again. But then you look at Johnny's. He's got Dak versus Vegas, Pickens versus Vegas, and then he's got Brock Byers versus Dallas. Those two defenses are terrible. That Monday
That's
night
true.
game is just going to be probably a high scoring affair, and Johnny's going to just, yeah, there's no way Jeff wins this. But the projection is really close. I mean, 123 to 127.4. Jeff might have a chance, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Johnny's going to take this one handily, but I do hope that that is wrong, and I hope
Go,
Jeff
Jeff.
somehow finds a way to win this game. The league would love it and take down the juggernaut. We're hoping for both the Jimmy and Johnny loss this week. Book
That'd
it.
be clutch. That'd be clutch for everybody in the league except those two.
Book it.
But
They can afford it.
they could, yeah, exactly. But we'll go to this. Actually, is a really close game too. This projection is really close with 121.6 versus 123. Is you and Rudy. You had the crushing blow today of Marvin Harrison Jr. being out, probably for at least this week. I would think probably a couple weeks with the appendicitis. So we put Christian Watson in that flex spot. That's a crushing blow because those two. I mean, Marvin. I feel like Harrison's on the up, and Christian Watson's still trying to find his footing, but that's a blow to you.
That's a huge blow, especially after Jacoby Brissett gets announced to be the starter for like the
Yeah,
next at least 4 weeks, probably the whole season. Kyler's done, but yeah, the Cardinals' offense was just starting to heat up. Luckily, I still got McBride in there, who should get maybe 25 targets this game, and hopefully he can carry us to victory. If I could get like a 40 out of him this week, I might have a chance. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy game. Like Rudy's of the three teams that are pretty much out, Chris, Rudy, and Mubasi. Rudy easily has the best of those teams, and he's probably pretty far up there in points against because he drops pretty good points and still loses.
I think he's number
I
two.
am I am definitely nervous about this game. I'm going to be honest. CeeDee Lamb's playing that same Raiders defense that you were just talking about
Yeah,
for the other game, and he's probably going to drop so many points. And DK has Cincinnati, so their defense, that's one of the worst defenses in the league.
yeah.
This is going to be a tough game. Luckily, Derrick Henry has the Browns, so I might be salvaged there. And then also you got the thought of every time Egbuka gets a catch or touchdown, it's also going to Baker's
Baker.
points too. This is not one of those. This is a game I got a very eerie feeling about. I'm not as confident as I'd like to be, but it all starts tomorrow with Drake May. Drake May drops me a good 30. I'll be feeling pretty good.
30 would be nice from Drake May. Um, yeah, I mean, Rudy's team's got some good matchups versus some bad matchups. I don't like the Kyron Williams. I just talked about the Seattle defense is really good. This is gonna be close. I feel like this is gonna be the closest game of the week, which kind of sucks for you. I'm Team Rudy. I hope Rudy wins. I think Rudy edges you out here. Um, I just think your luck's going to keep going downward. You've had this strong start, and it just every week it seems like you're just going down and down and down and down. You had a really good week. You kind of got to spike up last week. Um, I think it goes back down though. I think Rudy gets you. That'll be a bad loss for you. Um, I hope Rudy gets you. That's all I'm going to say. I hope Rudy gets you, but it'll be close. It'll be a very close game.
Yeah, I cannot seem to catch a break with all these injuries and like no one comes back. Like my guys get hurt and then they're just gone forever. Like
Yeah,
Pearsall's
like
been
Bucky.
out since the beginning of the season. Bucky's been out since the beginning of the season. Trey Benson went down his first game as a starter. Marvin Harrison gets appendicitis on a random Tuesday. Like, I mean, I can't seem to catch a break, and hopefully we can just keep running on luck at this point. It just get me to the playoffs. If I can get there with my team like coming back healthy, then that's all we need. That's all we're rooting for.
Anything can happen in the playoffs, that's for sure.
Anything.
Um, all right, then we'll go to another actually big game with Chewy and Nick. And Ryan and I kind of debated on who we wanted to win here. I feel like Chewy, you said Nick, or no, you said, who did you say? You said Chewy.
Yeah, I said Chewy. You
And
said Nick.
I said Nick. But you know what? I think with Chewy's team, I think his two receivers with Jackson Smith and Amon Ra are scary. And then he's got Jonathan Taylor on a bye. So I think Nick actually wins this game if I'm having to like pick somebody to win just because Taylor's on a bye. But yeah, I think you said it again. This team just isn't that scary, even though he has like the number one wide receiver or the number 2 and 4 wide receiver and the number one running back. Just everybody around him just doesn't scare me at all. But he is
No.
leading the league in points. So I still, it's tough who I want to win. I guess I really don't care because somebody's going to lose. And that's going to be good for me, especially if I win. Even if I lose, it'd be good for me just for one of these teams to lose. So I'm probably just looking at this game and just saying, whatever happens, happens. Whoever wins is good for me. Whoever loses is good for me. But I do think Nick wins just because of Chewy's got the bye with Jonathan Taylor, and Alvin Kamara, and I think J.K. Dobbins is going to be out for. I think he's an IR guy. He might be put on the IR. Something wrong with his foot. So Chewy's team is actually going downward, which is good because this team, like I said, it's leading. He's leading the league in points, so that has to count for something. But it's not that scary, and it's going down. So that's just my opinion on this team.
Yeah, and I think Nick's going up. I mean, this guy, like,
Yes.
we've been doubting this team since the beginning of the year and
Yeah.
calling it trash, and like it still looks not that great, but the guy keeps winning and he keeps dropping hella points. So it's kind of undeniable at this point that like this is a pretty good team. And I think we would be all better off if Chewy wins this game. I think in the playoff scenario, at least as it stands right now, I'd rather play Chewy.
That's tough. I
It
think I
is
would too,
it's
though.
tough, but I think
I
that's
think
the way.
Yeah, I think I would too. Especially Burrow's coming back. I know Herbert's been good, but Burrow just gives you that ceiling that Herbert just doesn't have, just because Herbert's offensive line is still in shambles. And I mean, Herbert can get you a 30 ball, but Burrow, like, he'll get you a 30 ball against a really good defense, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. Herbert's kind of more like a lucky kind of, oh wow, he got me 30. But anyway, when Burrow gets back in this lineup, that'll be his team will go up a little bit, in my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So go
it
Chewy.
doesn't look good, but it's a good team.
It is. It is a good team. You can't deny it at this point. He's been on a tear, and we need Chewy to win this game. Knock him down another peg.
I wouldn't mind that. I still would love a Chewy L. Well, I was gonna say I played uh, Nick the last game of the season, but that always changes, so that actually probably isn't gonna happen. But that last week of the season is gonna be crazy because we're so close knit, all of us, and it's going to be a fun week for that week 14, and a lot of buys, a lot of important buys, too.
Yeah, that's
But
gonna be rough.
we'll go to Lubasi and James. This is a must win for James. Plain and simple. He can't lose this game, especially against Lubasi.
Yeah, I think if James loses here, he's pretty much in that conversation of this guy might be out.
Yeah.
Lubasi's season, I think we said already, like it's pretty much stick a fork in it. I think he does still have 1%, but he would have to both win out and a lot of other things I think would probably have to happen. So, I mean, he's fighting for a win this week too, no doubt about it, because no matter what, he cannot lose again. But I don't know though. These projections are awfully close. James
Well,
Lang.
Jackson Dart's projected 0, so you put a
Oh,
quarterback.
okay.
Yeah,
That
James
explains it.
because I don't think James has another quarterback because he has Jaden Daniels out, so he'd have to pick somebody up. Probably like a 16, 17 average. So about 122 maybe. So it's probably a 10-point spread once he gets a quarterback in there, but James should win this easily.
Still
Like, there's
could
no
this?
reason.
I don't know. This actually might be a close game.
I don't think it'll be close. I think
I mean, given Lubasi's track record for the season, he is more than likely due for under 100, but there is a like 5% chance that he might drop like 145.
there's no way.
There is a slight percent chance that might happen.
There's no way. I think
And
James gets
I'm
this
rooting for
easily.
Lubasi here. I would love to see him win this
I am
game.
too.
Knock another
Yes.
guy out of the race. Like just let's get these guys at the bottom. Let's just lock in that bottom four. Make it
Especially
so
a strong team like James. If we can get him at 4-7, that'd be huge. But I don't want to pick on Lubasi too much. But we were talking about in our group chat about Lubasi sent something about how his season's over, and I almost sent a screenshot of this picture and said you could tell when Lubasi's season started just going downhill because he started 134, 123, 105, which isn't bad, but 122, 120, like his team was on the high and high. Like he's actually doing well. I know he's 2-3, but like he's scoring points, and then you can just see a straight dip to 68 and 55, a nice 140, but then another two under 100. And you could just see what week, that week 5 to week 6. I don't know if that was a trade. That might have been our trade, but
the crazy
went
thing
bad.
too is both of those weeks he played against very beatable scores and
He did,
just
yes.
like didn't even get anywhere close.
Even like these two scores at the bottom, like those are beatable. Like all he had to do was break 100 and he would have beat Rudy and Jeff. And yeah, Lubasi's season could have definitely been the opposite, but he's made some moves that probably people and himself probably don't agree with. But he's had a good schedule to like be okay. I know that week 3 to week 5 was tough. I think everybody loses those 3 weeks unless you spit out a really good score. But every other week he's had, he should have won.
Yeah, he's had 3 weeks this entire season where someone's put up over 110. Like
Yeah.
it was three bad weeks. Everyone else is actually less than 104, 105.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Lubasi
This guy was talking about my schedule a few weeks ago. Like, dude, look at this. Come on, man.
But if you guys were talking about it like week 6, week 7, it looks like Lubasi's had a really tough schedule, but it hasn't been tough. This is a type of schedule that I would love to have.
Yeah.
In
I think anybody would have loved to have that.
Yeah. Because week 3 and week 5, like I said, you're taking L's. And you probably take another L somewhere so you probably have 4 losses just because you get an unlucky bad week. But yeah, that's it. I wanted to point that out, but I didn't want to be too mean, so I just say it on the podcast. And he probably doesn't listen to this, so he's probably fantasy football. He's done with it.
All right, let's look at these standings.
We'll look at the standings. So I mean, you can see like Jimmy and Johnny, 95+% chance. Like something bad has to happen for them not to get in the playoffs. So you automatically think those two spots are already gone. So the rest of us are fighting for 4. And when I say the rest of us, I mean everybody in our Jeff's division except Rudy and Dom and James, which is 7 guys. So there's still 7 guys fighting for 4 spots.
Yeah, well, this is why we need to see James take an L and Nick take an L. Well, see, now looking at this, I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of want Jimmy and Johnny to win because Johnny plays Jeff. So we kind of want Johnny to win. Just have Johnny win out and Jimmy win out. Who does Jimmy play again?
I can't remember. But yeah, I guess when you look at it that
Dom.
way.
Yeah, Johnny and Dom or Jimmy and Johnny win this week, and that pushes Dom and Jeff down. So that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, just get us to the playoffs. You just get all the people that are at the bottom right now, get them out. Yeah, we're only 1 game back from those 5-5s, or 1 game ahead of those 5-5s too. So like, I need to be able to take like at least 1 more loss, maybe 2, and still be able to make it. So yeah, we need Chewy, Jeff, and James to just all lose, and Dom.
Yes, and
yeah, all right. Well, Jimmy and Johnny, I guess we're no longer
that's your
trying to
1
take
and 3
down the
seed.
juggernauts. Keep doing what you're doing and take down these guys at the bottom for us.
Right, that's
so that
our
we
1 and
can
3 seed.
Sneak in the playoffs.
Yes, I think that's what we want to happen, especially since it's so close in there. I don't play Jimmy or Johnny again, so they can just win out. I don't care.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, I think that would be great.
But yeah, we'll go to the season stats points for. And remember, our mini game is our first 4. So right now we got Chewy, Johnny, me, and James. And then you are pretty close behind James, only 3 points. And then Jimmy, which
4
is
points behind
surprising.
you.
Yeah, 4 points. Yeah, it's really the last 2 are really close. So this is another reason why I think Chewy's team is really good, just for this points 4. But I feel like his team is trending down just with injuries and stuff. So I think Johnny probably does have the best team because his team is going up.
I told you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're probably about to run out of time here, so I think we'll probably call that a podcast.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, here's the points against, which